Hey guys, just wanted to welcome you back for another video. And today I just want to come on with a quick tip that I thought of while I was in the middle of a stash busting project. And I love this floral background and I love the orange, but the problem with the orange for me was that it was a little bit too bright. So I didn't want to take the time to try to find another kind of orange color in my cardstock because I was on a really good roll. And sometimes when you're got that momentum, you don't want to stop. So I happen to have my mixed media card behind me. So what I did was I grabbed some white acrylic paint and I also brought in some like a bronze Nouveau drops color. And I thought, let me just alter it. I like the orange undertone, so I didn't wanna get rid of all of that orange color. I just wanted to tone it down so it would complement that pattern paper you see. So if you're ever struggling and you have a piece of cardstock and you don't have time to dig around for that more perfect piece, if you have the resources to hand like I did, just grab some paint or some Nouveau drops and a dauber is all you need, or a sponge if you don't have one of those. Whatever you've got to get the job done, and just take some of the paint like you see what I'm doing here, and by doing like a stippling motion, I think it's called, like if you're going through a stencil, it's the same kind of motion because I wanted that white to get blended and smoothed out. I didn't want it to be like globby. So it took a little minute, but it ended up allowing that orange color to work with the pattern paper that I wanted to use to what is the word? I can't think of the word, but in any case, the point being, it made that piece of orange cardstock, which was more like a Halloween color. Perfect color if I'd have been doing Halloween cards, wouldn't have been an issue, but because I needed that orange to be a little bit softer to fill in as a background, that's where the white acrylic paint was perfect. And like I said, you can see I'm just doing that stippling motion. Then when I was done with the white here in just a bit, then I wanted something to kind of catch the little bit darker tones in that paper. So that's where that bronzy color for the Nouveau drops came in. And it ended up leaving, obviously, like a little bit of a metallic shine because I believe they use mica powders in the Nouveau drops, sorry, at least as far as I can tell from, when I use it, it's got that nice metallic shine. But again, it wasn't too much in your face because I just wanted this to be a background that I could use when I finished it off a little bit later in my stash bust project. So here's where I'm thinking I wanted to bring in the Nouveau bronze color. And just really simple, like I said, if you're on a roll, you don't have time, here's a solution you might be able to take advantage of depending on what you got floating around in your craft room within reach. Sorry, my English today is hilarious. And since I am off for the summer while I work on rehabilitating my right hand, I got downgraded from the cast to a brace, but I've started therapy to relearn how to use my right hand, which has been hilarious. But it's it- it's in progress, let's just say that. So, I'm taking full advantage of not having to work the summer feeding program as my job as a lunch lady. So, I'm trying to get caught up and get projects done that I've started, couldn't finish, get content up to keep consistent with that. And I'll have an update video here coming up in the next couple days after this video, just what's been going on and behind the scenes for the online store, the crafts, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. But like I said, while I was doing the crafting, I didn't want to give up that orange, but I wanted to make it work because you can see how bright that is now after seeing the other side that I toned down with the white and the Nouveau drops. And I just anything I can do to make sure that I'm not losing the momentum. Once you get on a roll with a big project, sometimes it is a pain in the butt to stop. So, like I said, see what you got close to hand and bring that in to help get the paper to do what you want it to do without having to stop, take the time, and dig through drawers. Because I have no idea if I even have any orange cardstock that would work with that the way I wanted it to. So, and then just one thing to kind of bring back just a little bit of that brightness. I scuffed up the edges with my scissors, and again, it's to accent it, but I didn't want that super bright orange to overshadow that really pretty floral paper. I know you don't see a lot of it, but colors matter when you're crafting. So that's what I was kind of going for. So anyway, hope this was a fun tip. Hopefully it helped. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And hopefully we have some fun, especially over the summer. Stay tuned for lots and lots of stash busting videos. So in the meantime, you guys take care, stay safe. I'll put the rest of this to music, which I don't think there's much. And I will see you guys in the next video. If you're interested in some more content, here's a couple videos you might want to check out, and I will catch up with you in the next one.